Afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and here with my brother in Christ and my partner in the streets. Yes. That's what we're going to be doing this year. This is 2025, Tony. Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year to you. Yes.
And Happy New Year to all of our viewing audience. I'm hoping that we are bringing something new to the new year. And the news that I got for is let's be ready for January the 20th, Tony. Yeah. I think we are in for a reality TV show.
Yeah.
All over America is going to be, and I mean we just saw some versions of that with the election of the speaker. At a minute there, a guy told me. Said, when Elon Musk came on the scene, he said that Trump was no longer the president; he was the first lady. I said, "Well, you don't talk about like that, and well, I don't know. I'm gonna just tell you something. It's something to watch. We got a Speaker of the House, and already he's talking chaos about cutting entitlements."
Yeah. Those are not just those are essential programs for the citizens of the United States.
I'm concerned, Tony. I mean, deeply concerned as a believer, as a child of God. I'm concerned that we have a portion of our population, a whole big portion of our population, that have elected a person that they made a golden image of.
Mm-hmm.
That's troubling within itself to me. That's really troubling because they have placed this man over all the values that we have in this country that made the rule of law respectable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm an ex-offender, so don't get me wrong. I believe that ex-offender can got something to offer. Got something to offer. If they have repented
mm-hmm.
and taken responsibility for their bad deeds, and trying to make some amends. But if you're gonna keep denying that you ain't had no deeds that you need to be sorry about doing, it's troubling.
Yes.
It's troubling because this is an act of authority. The President of the United States has more authority to cause pain and suffering than any one individual in the country.
Mm-hmm.
In any one individual. I mean, with a stroke of a pen, he can cause chaos. He can stop your income, that you need to feed yourself and your family and pay your bills. He can cut it off. I don't care whether it comes from the federal government or somewhere else. He has that power because he has surrounded himself with billionaires that own all the companies
mm-hmm.
that we work for in this country. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about how this is going to play out with the trying to round up immigrants. Everybody immigrants except us, Tony.
Yeah.
Excuse me, go ahead, man.
Yeah. What's troubling to me as I sit back and recall the death of our most recent 100-year-old former president of the United States.
Man, gotta salute him.
Yes, we have to salute him. And he showed so much moral strength in situations like we're dealing with now. He was just totally honest about it. The thing that impressed me, one of the many things that impressed me about him was he grew up in an age of of segregation, yet did not bow to it.
Yes.
I mean, he was so open.
Well, Tony, I'm gonna tell you why, man. You know, this black lady
Yeah.
that raised him, helped raise him, had to have some kind of impression on him.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. The military.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe those two things shaped Carter like no other influences, because he had every reason in the world to be really racist.
Yes. Yes.
And insensitive. You know, he had every reason to be, because of the way he was situated in Deep South,
Yes.
surrounded by plantations.
Yes.
You know, with the authority of the plantation owner, he still evolved.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He still evolved to be what, in my estimation, one of the greatest humanitarians of our time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, and I salute.
We have to salute him.
As a veteran.
Yes.
You know, as a veteran,
Mm-hmm.
and as a Georgian, you know, I salute him.
Yeah.
I salute
A
him.
man that was born and raised in the South.
In segregation.
Yes.
Under segregated laws.
Segregated laws, yet he recognized the era of segregation and did not participate in it, did everything he possibly could, in my opinion, to fight against those rules and laws and directives that were out doing that.
And start integrating the state government.
Yes, yes.
So we can't forget that part.
He saw the errors of Southern politics and went against it.
Went against.
Yes, yes.
Great humanitarian.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
somebody that we could all take a lesson from, because with after his high rise to the White House and served there for 4 years, he left there and went all over the world serving
Yes.
with his hands,
Mm-hmm.
building houses for those that couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you know, faith looked like
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
That's what a child of God looked like to me. Now, this other stuff with this guy with the golden image, big contrast, Tony.
Major contrast.
And
Major.
that is one reason I was hoping we would have had a greater attendance at our monthly membership meeting today, because, you know, we got a lot of guys. Well, all our members are dependent on the president signing that check every month.
Exactly.
And I don't think they've been listening to the news. He got some hatchet men's on the job.
Yes.
They ready. They just biting the bits to try to get to the table where they can start their chaos.
Yes.
That chaos can cause chaos in our homes like we never seen before. When you can't pay the bills.
Right. Exactly.
When you can't pay the bills. It's something that we need people to start talking about and thinking about, because we can't panic under this kind of pressure, because the act is to drive us back towards slavery.
Yes.
And if we look at it, Tony, the United States of America right now have more of their citizens incarcerated than any other nation on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And what are all those people doing in prison? They working every day, Tony.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes.
They working every day for companies
Yes.
that don't pay them.
It houses them and feed them.
And they pay them slave wages.
Yes.
But they get major productions for businesses.
Yep.
Something is wrong with this picture, and we ain't looking at it right. Something is wrong with this picture, Tony, because right now, if the price of housing in Atlanta, Georgia, is more than most of my grandkids can afford.
You know, no way could it's the percentage of people who could afford the price of housing, but just pick Atlanta. It's ridiculous to consider the fact that they expect people to afford housing and feed themselves and transportation. It's I don't see how they do it.
It's gonna be. Listen, they said that the homeless rate went up 18% nationwide in this country in 2024. And that was with an economy that was roaring back to goodness, you know. But they wasn't roaring back fast enough for these people to maintain their housing. So 18% increase in homelessness. That means people without anywhere to stay. There's something wrong with us not having this conversation in the house right now, when we are more concerned about who won the Peach Bowl. It's troubling to me because, see, I don't think we are mentally equipped to deal with it without causing more chaos, more violence in the community, more crime in the community, more mayhem in the community we got coming up. We need to take a break and just sit back. I have been on a fast all day, Tony. I decided I was going to fast today, and I might be doing more than today because it helps me get into myself a little bit more than I need to be into myself now, because the things that I see coming, I need to be spiritually equipped to handle it. You know, I need to be spiritually equipped to handle it, because, you know, the carnal mind is going to make me do some crazy stuff. It's going to make everybody react to this in ways that might not be the best thing for us. And that might be the plan. That might be the plan, Tony. I don't know. I don't want to say that diabolical, but they're creating situations where a large number of us are going to prison. And what they do in prison, Tony, they work. They work every day. For companies in America that's making profit off the things that they make. This economy, this empire was built on slave labor, and they're trying to keep it on slave labor. That's why you got all the billionaires going to government. Why do they want to control government? Because it controls the taxes.
They control the purse.
Purse control.
They will
Manners
control
said
the
that.
purse.
Manners told us that.
Yes.
He said politics is all about control and distribution of the wealth. We see it now more than we ever seen it before, because they're doing it right in our face. They just come up and say, they so bold about it because they feel like we are ill-equipped to do anything about it. They just feel like we're not equipped not to cooperate with them. We're going to cooperate with them because they got us by the balls. They got us squealing, hurt.
And the thing about that is, we had an example. Maynard showed them, showed the city of Atlanta when they tried to control the purse strings of the city of Atlanta, and he said, get the controller, move that money to, all of a sudden, the attitude of big business in Atlanta said, whoa. The knowledge and the experience is there. We just need somebody to recognize it and put it into action. You said time and time again, Dr. King told us how to deal with it. With a protest and how to make it work. And then we saw it happen. Maynard has laid the groundwork for the same thing.
And
with the price and the cost of living in the city of Atlanta, you know, it's the groundwork is there.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs somebody to say, okay, if you're going to charge these prices, then we're going to do whatever is necessary to make you aware that we are actually, the citizens are actually in control. The city is actually in control, not big business.
Not big business.
Yeah.
And we need to just do it, because one thing about it, we don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
See, listen, I guess I'm a little overweight anyway.
Yeah.
So I have been playing with the idea of fasting. So I got up this morning and say, okay, I'm not going to do nothing but drink water today. I didn't even drink milk or juice. I didn't just been drinking water because of my medication. But I got to deprive myself of these worldly things for a day, to let myself know I can do without them.
Yeah.
See, you know, and our faith, Tony, the word came like this. Sometimes the only thing you can do is fast and pray. See, fast and pray means that you are not spending money
Right.
with the businesses that's oppressing you.
Yes. Yep.
See, we need to. They say the rent's too high. We need to bring the rent down so the people that's been faced with homelessness is not homeless with facing anymore. They need to stop the madness.
Yes.
They need to either raise the wages or bring down the rent.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a choice, and this got to be 2025 type choice. You need to do it now. You know, people need to understand that you ain't got to go spend your money at Walmart just because you got it. You can let it sit in the bank today. You ain't got to spend a dime. I ain't spend a dime. I ain't putting no gas in my car, Tony. I ain't bought nothing to eat, and I'm still fine.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah.
And I ain't gonna do it. Right? Not today. Just not today. I ain't gonna eat. I ain't gonna put no gas in my car. I ain't buying nothing. I'm not going to the store.
Yeah. That would be an interesting movement for the city to experience.
Yeah.
You know, it would be great if the entire city would experience it, but sometimes just a portion of it to draw attention to the point that we're living well beyond our means. And as we live beyond our means, the cost of living is also increasing, which doesn't even give us a chance to recover. It's how can you recover when you're living beyond your means and the prices are continually going up? And so you're chasing that dollar, you know.
That's what they got you chasing, the golden image.
Yeah, the golden image, yeah.
See, we got the glitter,
Yeah.
the bling.
Yeah.
And he would say anything to get attention. And the media give it all to him. They just keep him in the media. And so he has become a conversation that we have every day, even whether we want to have the conversation or not. We need to fast and pray for a while and see what the store do. If enough of us not going to the store owner going to say something that might be heard in the halls of Congress.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that veterans understand that the time is now to come together to organize, strategize, and mobilize ourselves against the oppression which is on the way at us. Whether we realize it or not, when they start trying to round up immigrants, or what they call immigrants,
What they consider immigrants. Yeah.
they're gonna be right. They're gonna impact all of us because certain industries ain't gonna be able to provide stuff that we want every day, and the price is gonna go up.
Yeah, not just we want, that we need.
We're
talking about feeding
your
this
family.
nation.
Yeah, feeding.
You know,
Feeding.
and guess who's the workforce that is providing this country with the food it needs? Are those immigrants that he's determined to deport.
To round up and put them in camps.
In camps, and if he's able to deport, you know.
we act like we don't like we act like it don't matter to us. So we need to get rid of them. They do. Come on, bro, wake up.
Yeah.
They selling you a bill of listen. It's going to impact us so much, Tony. That they ain't thought about that. They ain't gonna be able to get the food to the grocery stores.
Right.
You know, they ain't gonna be able to get it out of the fields. You know, so what gonna happen with the food in the grocery store? It's gonna go up.
Yes.
I watch Kroger's. I buy the 18 packs of eggs, right?
Exactly.
Now, last month before December, they was 3 something.
Yes.
Now they 5 something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
18 pack. That's what I like.
Yep.
Cause I like eggs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that tells you what's to come, especially if we start putting tariffs on top of that. You know, we're gonna put some tariff on top of that.
Yes.
So, or we're gonna bully somebody on top of telling them they gonna do what we want you to do or else.
Mm-hmm.
That's so childish.
It is.
That's so childish until you think we got a bully government.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Anyway,
it's like how do we expect to continue to live at the level, just the level where we are now, and all of a sudden we're going to begin experiencing the cost of living as a result of a tariff, which is a tax. It's a tax that's going to be placed on especially the essential things that we need in this country.
And they talking about on Mexico and Canada.
Yes.
The 2 doorways to bringing the stuff in.
That's it. Yes.
Make America, they say make America first. First to fall down.
Yes.
From internal collapse.
Yep.
Well, anyway, Tony, I'm gonna tell you what. I enjoyed the meeting today, even though our members wasn't there the way they needed to be. We had guests that brought good information. Now, I wanted this young lady about the Social Security had me sitting up there thinking, now maybe they need to cut some of that mess they got going on, the way they got all these different plans and different stuff. Why is all of that stuff? Why we can't get Congress to just do a flat Social Security payout? Why you got the different states, different time zones, different zip codes? You got different things coming. Why not give everybody the same based on the economy?
Yeah.
They got all these different programs out here. If you ain't got this, you got to get this. They didn't do this. That's so confusing. Then they got all the pimps in the house with that, because every time they want them call you, they get a commission if you talk to them. If you switch.
Yep. If you switch to their plan, which most of the time we actually don't understand. They dingle a carrot in front of us, thinking that we're going to go for it and bite that carrot, not realizing that carrot has a string to it that they're controlling. And so once you bite into that carrot and they raise that carrot up, when you can't reach it, now it's going to cost you more just to get another bite of that carrot.
They got us. They got us, Tony, like the rat in the cage. You know, like a rat in the cage. Just keep running and then trying to get to the door, but they ain't gonna get to the door because the cage moving too fast.
Yeah, that's right. When you get close to the door, they move the door.
So what we gonna continue to do is what we did today. We had a good meeting. We had some people there that need to be there so they could understand, the young veterans that need to understand the process that they got to go through to survive, really, to survive. We're talking about young veterans coming back into the community with mental problems and adjustment problems that the DOD and the VA ain't even addressing, period, because they're not talking with these people's families where they got to go and live, and they are uncomfortable there because the family is uncomfortable with what they're bringing into the household. The mental disruption that they see in their loved ones, making it hard for them to even want them in their homes. we need to make sure that DOD understand that this year you're gonna stop sending our young people back home out of the military without equipping the families to receive them. If that young person got a mental problem, that family should know about it and be equipped to deal with it when they get there.
Yeah.
Because they're going to add to the homeless population or the suicide population, Tony.
Especially the suicide population.
Yeah. These young folks ain't, they looked at this young man that they say was radicalized and that ran over the peoples in New Orleans, a veteran, right?
Yep.
And they're saying that he was radicalized, but now before they say he was radicalized, they say, well, he had some mental problems. Why didn't they address him?
Yeah.
The mental problems, when they saw the mental problems pop up, they didn't go into this man's family and household and try to tell them, listen, the man got problems. We're going to help you deal with it. Because one of the things that came out, he's saying he started to kill his whole family. I mean, that's a mental problem.
Yes.
And they knew he was having mental problems, but they did nothing about the mental problem. But so he was able to be radicalized. What's happening to most of our young folks? They're not being radicalized, Tony. They're being drugnized.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yes. You're right.
They get on drugs and they can't shake it.
Yeah.
See, we got to make people understand. See, the way the media feeds these things is to their advantage to keep the public bamboozled. The simple reality of it was this young man was left out there too long by himself with a mental problem that the military and his family should have been able to handle. They had notice of it, Tony. But they overlooked all of that to get to, well, he was radicalized. ISIS got to him. Yeah, ISIS gonna get to more of them if you don't get to him first.
Yes. There's a reason why he chose that over democracy.
Listen, Tony, I say it all the time. The drug dealers take advantage of our disabled veteran population, man. They feed them drugs because they know they need some kind of relief. So they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That's what I say, the pimps are in the kitchen. But the government should take notice that they are failing the commitment to us when they don't intervene in cases when these young people are coming home and providing their family with the equipment they need to be able to help these children make that successful transition and get into a rehab program that's going to restore them to some sense of normalcy.
Are we seeing PTSD all over again?
Yes.
Just calling it something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the thing with that is, they know. They have an example.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is an example of what happens to young men in this situation. And this is what we are doing. They haven't done it yet, but this is the process we're doing to attempt to help them, or what we are really doing to really help them. But they got the framework.
And see, Tony, you said something really key just now, man, when you said they ain't recognizing that to deal with it, because the problem is they're not really diagnosed. It's called adjustment disorder.
Yes.
You just said it, PTS all over again.
Yeah.
This without the violent trauma of combat.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And so is getting people in position that make those decisions to recognize that, to see it for what it is, and say, this is something we need to deal with. But unfortunately, the challenge comes in because one of the things that pops up is, what is this going to cost us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the first thing that comes to mind. What it's going to cost us?
What is it going to cost us?
And they don't care how much it costs the veteran or his family.
Exactly.
It's what it's costing them
out
of our tax money.
Yeah.
Which they rigmarole with that every day and say we got a deficit.
Yeah.
How can we have a deficit when we taking in over $1 trillion a day in taxes?
Yep.
We taking more money than we spend, Tony.
Yep.
I mean, listen. You got so many taxes in the state of Georgia until I don't know. I can't keep up with them.
Yep. Yep.
And I just learned that waste fee. They got a waste fee. They don't call it taxes. They said they call it a fee for services performed. The garbage that be picked up every day. Now I'm trying to figure out why the taxes they're getting. The taxpayers pay the garbage man, don't they? Don't they get a salary from the government?
Yeah.
So why we got to pay the fee? I bet you that's some kind of surplus money that Brian Kemp keep bragging about. That's surplus. Surplus.
Yes.
See, how you gonna have a surplus when you got people sleeping on the streets?
Exactly. You know, and it's been said before by either one of us. He steps by them every day.
Going to work.
If he looks out his window, they're right there. They're on the steps of that church directly across the street from the Capitol.
Right in front of the Capitol.
Yes.
The only reason they ain't on the steps in the Capitol, they got them things that'll block them off and keep them off there.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they'll be sleeping on the steps of the Capitol.
Exactly.
And he just don't care.
He's choosing not to care.
He's choosing not to care.
He is choosing not to care about that part of the population.
Now, and Tony, we got an issue that we can solve in Fulton County, and I'm so glad that our commissioner is listening to us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna solve this problem with homelessness in Fulton County because we already got the resources to do it. We just need to get the heart to do it, and the politicians that come up with that Fort McPherson Redevelopment Authority. We need all them housing units on Fort McPherson. We got all the housing units left on Fort McPherson right now. It'll be more than we need to take everybody off the street. And look what you got out there. You got bathrooms, you got kitchens, you got bunks already there, so they ain't got to go out there and spend nothing but some elbow grease, where they say elbow power, cleaning it up.
But one of the most important parts of it, sitting right there when you walk in the gate, is a medical center.
Medical center. Right there on the post.
On the post.
We're gonna push that this year.
Yeah.
This year we're gonna push it where all of Fulton County come together to do away with homelessness, eliminate it, because it ain't no such thing as they can't do it. They got enough barracks and housing right there on Fort McPherson. All they got to do is go out there and organize it. Clark College got one of the best social worker programs in the area, and they are willing to help us with it.
Yes. One more. Morehouse School of Medicine.
Morehouse School of Medicine, willing to work.
You know, it's all I won't say all the pieces needed at least to get it started already exist.
But I think we got all the pieces existing there. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. We can reactivate our veteran odd job service, which Shirley Franklin gave us money to get the background clearance when she was mayor. What we were doing, Tony, every day we were putting people to work that was homeless. We can put them to work right now. We can put them to work. Those that can work and those that can't work, put them on disability. Get them the social work they need to straighten their lives up and become independent people again. It would be cheaper on society. Crime would go down. Listen, Tony, if you're homeless, you got to steal to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to eat, to sleep, to live.
Yeah,
all of those things are factors that
cause you
to continue to be homeless.
Yeah, and you continue to commit crimes in the community.
Oh yeah.
To make sure that you got enough to do what you need to do with your population. Right now, I'm sure that the city of Atlanta could use more workers. Right now, you know, you look at some of the streets and some of the stuff. They could use more workers. A bunch of these companies trying to hire folks. but these folks ain't able to go to work. Why they ain't able to go to work? They ain't got no resident. Right. They ain't got no address. They can't clean up every day.
Yeah.
We got the buildings right there on Fort McPherson right now. We can start moving them in there tomorrow. They can clean up the place and they could, they listen. Yeah. They were good enough for the military. Yeah. They should be good enough for the homeless. We don't need to go spend no money. We just need to get some soap and water. Mm-hmm. And some rags and go in there and clean up. Right, need a little paint in some places. Yeah. But we got enough housing right now. Yeah. Right now, Tony, today, we can start moving people into Fort McPherson and set up an organization that, if you don't stay on the post, you're gonna get picked up for lottery. Mm-hmm. You can't use illegal to sleep on the streets anymore. Yeah. If you get picked up for lotteries, you're gonna be working the streets for free. We're gonna put you out there to work. You're not gonna lay up in jail. Yeah. You're gonna go to work every day. You ain't gonna be on the streets. We're not gonna have that in the city, in the Fulton County. Yeah. And guess what? Our servants, Michael Julian Bond, think it's a great idea. Yeah. Marvin Arrington Jr. think it's a great idea. Now we're gonna see, can we get some more people that elect the government to come up with a plan to put the ideas into work.
Exactly. The other similar factors to that is you have 3 major universities, colleges, right here in the city with social work programs with students that are training to do exactly what you need to help solve the homeless situation, to help solve the healthcare situation, to help solve the mental situation. That all of those factors play into it, and you've got university students right here in training, now, learning how to handle that,
and need to practice.
Yes.
They need to practice.
Yes,
And we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Because they need to just look out. I can walk again, Tony. We can walk. I ain't on the walker no more. So they need to look out. Here we come. And we coming with ideas that'll work. We not coming with demands that we can't, all kind of crazy stuff. We ain't threatening nobody. Yeah. We coming to help.
Yes.
We coming with ideas that will help make our community a better place for everybody.
Right. We're offering solutions. Mm-hmm. And through the solutions we're offering, plus I'm quite sure there are other people that are offering solutions. And they, you need a think tank.
We need to come together.
Okay, this is what we need, and we need this, we got this, and everything, and work a program to where we can end up at least working on this. I'm not going to say we're going to solve it, but at least we're working on it. We're moving toward a better society, a healthier society, both health-wise and financial-wise, because those homeless people are a financial drain on this city.
Tony, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's less than 2,500 of them.
Yeah.
It's less than 2,500 homeless people on the streets in Atlanta right now in Fulton County, period. So we could take those 2,500 off the streets today.
Yep.
We got the facilities. If it ain't enough at Fort Mac, we got Fort Gilliam.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you got a bunch of reserve units around town that got facilities. Mm-hmm. So we need to stop and look at what we got. We already own it. The government already own it. All we got to do is put it to work for the betterment of the community. Mm-hmm. And we're going to keep in their face. We're going to keep in their face. Every time they turn around, if I can walk, they're going to be trying to walk away from us, Tony. But we're going to make them walk away from us. Yeah, we'll start to take a picture with you, too. But we are coming for change in 2025. Yeah. We're not going to hear this. We can't do this. We can't do that. Listen, Michael Julian Bond showed us what can be done when you stick to it.
Yes.
When you stick to it, especially when you're doing it for a righteous cause.
Right. Yes.
See, the cause that we building this memorial is working. We're bringing people together to address the problems in our community the same way these young men addressed the problem in our community by serving in the U.S. military to the point of death.
Yeah.
They gave their lives so that we would have a better life. We can't go down. We got to do it. We got to make sure that everything that we doing with the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial is left intact for generations to come. So they'll know that we don't have to have our young kids shooting each other down in the streets like in a war zone.
Yep.
You know, and that's the way it is in Atlanta now. Every day you got violent deaths taking place in Atlanta. Every day, not one day, every day. And most days, 9 times, there's more than one.
Yes, yeah.
And we sitting back there, we can't do nothing about it. We scared in our communities. We scared to go to the store. You know, we scared.
Yeah.
Well, we need to be scared to go to the shopping in these stores where they letting people come in there with guns. Then.
Right, exactly.
See, I tell all these business folks, listen, if you got anybody coming in your store with a gun, I ain't coming in there about nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. I ain't coming in there because I'm scared. I don't want to be around that kind of stuff. I don't care if Brian Kemp made it fashionable for everybody to have a gun. It's your store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you can say, don't bring that in here. And Brian Kemp can't make you do it. He can't make you talk about, well, he can come in there if he want to. No, that's against the law too.
Yeah.
So we got to use the rule of law while we still got it.
And the technology.
Because
the technology is there. Try to go to one major event in this city and see. I went to a Falcons game and I got pulled over because keys in my pocket.
Keys in your pocket.
Not a shot, not a gun,
keys.
but keys. The guy said, you need to come this way, empty your pocket. And I put my keys out there.
And
then I walked through again, and that was it.
Yeah.
And so the technology is there to control it.
To control it.
And the thing about that is it can be mass produced to make it more affordable for some of these stores.
And then I'm gonna tell you something else too. Once these people find out they can't go to the store with it, they'll stop bringing it in the parking lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially when we got police out there making sure that you got a right to own the gun you can.
Exactly.
See, that's another issue.
Yep.
Availability, access to too many weapons is a problem. It's too easy for people to get access to firearms.
Exactly. Deadly firearms.
Yeah, and what we should make sure that everybody that own a firearm, and I'm for everybody owning one that want one.
Yep.
You're responsible for it. If your baby get it and get and hurt themselves, you going to jail.
Yeah.
You going to jail. You gonna pay for it. There ain't no such thing, no accident when your child got the weapon, a loaded weapon, because you didn't conceal it in a way in your house where they couldn't find it. We want responsible gun owners.
That's it.
To step up to the plate. And most people would do that.
Yes. Especially they would adhere to that faster than the idea of you forcing them not to have a gun.
Yeah.
You know, okay, if I gotta have a gun, I gotta be responsible. You know, and so if anybody gets hurt with my gun, I am responsible. You know,
I am responsible.
Yeah.
Well, we did it in the military.
Yes.
They gave me, and I was infantry. Gave me the gun. Let somebody else get my gun and do something with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be responsible because it was my gun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know why we can't get it in civilian society. Well, it's the culture, Tony.
It is a culture.
It's a culture. We got leadership that's bought out by business.
Mm-hmm.
That's
by business and the NRA.
Yeah, that's a big business.
That's a major business.
Big business. They want you to buy the firearm because that's how they make money.
Mm-hmm.
And they have bought up more politicians than any single group of people in the business community. Now, I don't know about that. I'm gonna take that back because they bought an election. Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He bought an election.
Yeah. Yes, he did. One millionaire.
Yeah, he bought an election. He put so much money. You see, we couldn't see it. They say he had a crew out there in the community. We didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know what they were doing.
Yep.
They were buying the election.
Yep.
They made sure that everybody that was hesitant about where their vote was gonna go, they wouldn't hesitate when they dropped them dollars on them. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm all right with that. You know, if somebody's dropping $1 grand on you to vote a certain kind of way,
yeah,
you ain't all that happy with the way things are going anyway. So You know, they just encourage you to do what you want to do. You know, so we got to look at what we're doing in 2025.
Yeah.
Look at it in a way that we're gonna have solutions and not whining about it. We're not just whining about the problem. We talking about it because we know together we can come together, like you said, a think tank.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, come together. You know, in a room where we gonna agree to disagree, and not be disagreeable.
Right. Exactly.
You know, agree to disagree without being disagreeable. So we can get some ideas out there. You know, we can listen to each other and come up with some plans to change the landscape so it's safe again. Where it's you ain't got to worry about being shot when you go to the store.
Kids don't have to be worried about being shot when they go to school.
When going to school. Now that's crazy, man. I hate to think about that, Tony, because I got these little great grandkids, man, and I'm looking at them growing up, and they got to go to school.
Yes.
You know, they got to go to school every day, and then you look around and you hear kids going to school getting killed.
Yeah.
You know,
we were talking about that over the holidays, in the fact of when we were going to school, there were no locked doors. Except on weekends when nobody was there. But every door to the school that I went to was open. So regardless to what area you came to the school from, what community, because most of those schools sat in the middle of a community, and you walked to any door to get to your class.
But see, you know, I'm going to tell you something else that was going on during our time of growing up, Tony. There was a care in the community about your neighbors.
Oh, yes. Yep. Yeah.
You know, there was a sense of love that neighbor, as I do myself, because that's who looked out for you.
Exactly.
And then when the neighbor got in trouble, somebody found out the neighbor couldn't pay their rent, they'd have a fish fry.
Yes.
You know, a fish fry in the community right there, and everybody come in and they raised enough money to make sure with nobody being evicted.
Yeah.
When people needed jobs, they made sure that the word got out, they found them jobs. They worked together. You go in the corner to the service station and find out anything you want to know.
Exactly. Service station and barbershop. And probably beauty shops.
And the beauty shop. Yeah. That's where you went.
That's where what's going on in the neighborhood?
Yeah. I need so and so. Okay. All right. Go down there to the barbershop. Somebody give you some direction.
Exactly.
Now we look at each other like, what are they looking at me for? You want some of this? No, I don't want none of that, bro, because you got too much of it. You know?
Really.
But we know that the Sons of Atlanta is a like you say, Tony, it's a divinely inspired idea and program, and it's working.
Yes,
it's working, and I mean the way it's working. Once we got people involved, the ball started rolling. They started calling us. Michael just laid back and started watching the house.
Yep.
So now we need to get these bricks sold so that we can do what we're trying to do in the community center. So go to sonsofatlanta.org, sonsofatlanta.org, O-R-G, sonsofatlanta.org. Look at before you go to commemorative brick sale. Look at the pictures. Yeah. Look at the profile of these young men. These kids was on. I had to go back and look at my picture, Tony, when I was that age.
Yep.
I was a kid, wasn't it? You know, they look little kids right out of high school, dying so that we can have the opportunities that we got today in this country that they trying to take away from us. These didn't just come up out of the blue. People died for this stuff. People struggled for this stuff. I mean, you think about the kind of stuff that the military had to suffer to get right. You know, they had to suffer so many losses in World War II that they said, okay, we got to come up with another way other than this white man's army. And they did. And it's called the United States military. And it looks like the community today.
Yes.
You know, it looks like the community, but it functions better than any parts of the community because these young people know how to get along and work together for a common cause. Every day. We got to get that same kind of spirit, that same kind of camaraderie going on in the community around the problems that we got. And the Sons of Atlanta project, we're looking for volunteers now. If you want to volunteer in the community center, in the library, doing tutorials and doing help, getting information out. One of the things we're going to be doing is making sure that everybody in the community that's on VA or Social Security is also online, Tony.
Yeah.
Because see, all of this stuff now is fed to us through Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And Biden tried to make sure everybody in the country got Wi-Fi, because he recognized now in our community, basically 70% of the people we serve are not computer literate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they don't even have a computer in their house. So that's an impact on how they get their livelihood done too, Tony. So we're gonna make sure that the libraries are open to people coming in there using their computers.
Mm-hmm.
We got to. And we got to make sure that people in the community come into the library and learn how to use these computers, because everything is online now. I can remember, Tony, when I was working, when I first got my job, I got a check.
Yeah,
a paper check.
Yep.
Ain't no such thing as a paper check for payroll now.
No.
It's direct deposit.
Everything.
Everything is online. We need to understand that and get with that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't wait for somebody to come in on a white horse to save us. We got to save ourselves. And the resources are already there.
Mm-hmm.
The computers are already in the libraries, right?
Yeah.
You know, ain't nobody in the library but a few people every day. We finna fill them libraries up with a volunteer army.
Yeah.
And to help people that don't know how to get online.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna be simple stuff that's gonna change the landscape of the community by us getting in there helping the community. We should recognize that everything is online.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not online, you cut off.
Yes. You don't have access to everything that you're entitled to have access to if you're not online now.
If you're not online.
And we're luckily we're one of the seniors in society, but at least we're aware of the necessity to be online.
To be online. Some of them don't want to be online.
Don't want to be online, but it is getting to the point you no longer have that option.
Yeah, not wanting to be online is not like not wanting to feed yourself.
Yep.
That's what it's going to be like. And
the other thing is, these little instruments right here are getting smarter. Well, they're already smarter than we are,
they're smart.
but they're even getting smarter than that.
Yeah.
And so if you can't get to the library, most of you are equipped with one of these that can do just about everything the computer in the library will be able to do.
And you need to learn that.
Yes.
Because see, you got to get online with your stuff. If you're not online with your stuff, Social Security, I hear people, I got to go down the store. You go Social Security, and take me about 2 minutes to get online. I can get me a new card. I can communicate them. I can find out what I need and everything.
Yep.
I needed an appointment from VA, 2 minutes rather than calling on the phone. 2 minutes, I had an appointment online. I just went online and told them I was trying to get an appointment. They said, "What are your preferences?" I gave them the preference. They said, "Well, we'll confirm it within a few days."
Yeah.
So we got to get online.
Yep.
And that's what the Sons of Atlanta is coming to you with. They're going to come to you with knowledge and resources. Help, knowledge, and resources. And we're not going to leave you by yourself. We know what's going on in our community, and we're going to start addressing those problems in our community, with our community, by our community. That way, when we go outside of our community, we don't be hating on nobody, talking about they getting more than we getting, and they ain't getting no more than we getting.
Yeah.
They just better organized in their community than we are, and we need to face that fact and stop hating.
Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what's going on in the community now. Hate. It's got so much hate that we can't even see that we got. And we in this together. We're in it together, and we're gonna do it together, no matter what the outside look like. The other good part about the claim process, I mean, it has brought a lot of people into our group. You know, a lot of people. They don't stick together the way I would like to see them stick together, but at least they acknowledge the organization. They acknowledge that we have helped them, you know, especially when they get a check every month. They acknowledge that, so they do kind of, you know, stick around for a call. If I call them, they'll show up. Now we're gonna be calling you soon, everybody, to have a meeting with our senators. As soon as we can get it scheduled, and it's gonna be at Club E, and it's gonna be an open meeting about claims and VA benefits. Open meetings about claims and VA benefits. And we're not there to get him to go ask the VA what they're doing. We know what the VA doing. We getting him there to tell him that we need him to change some of the stuff at the VA. That's what we asking for. We want change, and we can command it this year, because we are forming coalitions. And I just want to shout out to Gru and his people up there. We are forming coalitions where we can vote people in that we need vote in, and vote people out that we need to vote out. Because that's the end of the story, Tony. It's about the vote.
Yeah. And
who you choose to represent you in your community. You got some people that soon they get elected, you don't see them in the community no more until it's election time.
Yeah, exactly.
They run around talking about what they doing for you, and they ain't even talking about you. They don't know what you need. They doing what they want to do with the position you've given them.
Yeah.
And that needs to stop. We need to curb that right now. Because we got too many problems in our communities that we need to be dealing with, and we don't need to defer them. We don't need to kick the can on down the road. We need to stop. This year, 2025, should be the last time we ever whine without coming up with a solution.
Yeah. You know, one of the things about that is, and we've said it before, is vetting our elected officials. And we've experienced that with the Veterans Empowerment Commission. You know,
yes.
I'll say it, we're struggling to manage that program the way we originally imagined it to be, and that it was originally fed to us to be, but it's not that now. And the only way we're going to possibly change it right now is to vet these politicians that are able to assign people to this program, so that we can at least get this program to run the way we heard it was going to be run, and we imagined it being run, but it's not being run that way because we are shorthanded, because those elected officials are not assigning people to the commission so that we can get done what the commission really needs to do.
Yeah. And we could change it. We could change the landscape of Fulton County if we got that on, and that's what we were saying in our report. If we get the Fulton County Commission to restore the nonprofit, give us a facility where we got an office and training stuff and a meeting space, and command that those that are volunteering, they can at least do at least 10 hours a month.
Yeah.
At least 10 hours. And that they have at least one in-person monthly meeting.
Yes.
In-person monthly meetings. And I think if we can get that kind of stuff going, Tony, and make sure that every district is represented. Every district is represented and heard in the commission meetings, not just in the meetings. And when you go to say something, they quiet you down by trying to make it look like you're a troublemaker.
Yeah.
You know, make you think that you're some kind of way wrong because you ask a question about why we rushing to give out money when we ain't fully staffed. Yeah. You know, that was a question. And that's going to be a question again and again and again until we get it running the way we know it's supposed to be running, because we advocated for it and we read the law.
Yep.
Marvin Anderson and the commissioner gave us a good organization to work with. We just got kicked off wrong.
Yeah.
But now with the leadership that we got now, with these two young ladies that we got, I think we finna turn this thing around and do some great stuff for Fulton County veterans. Because see, one of the things you got to remember, Tony, our commissioner was the one that caused us to expand the city, the Sons of Atlanta project to Fulton County, and it looked like it mapped just what we are trying to do.
Exactly.
It maps what we're trying to do. Because all these cities now got to come together in Piedmont Park because of their citizens that's being honored in the Sons of Atlanta.
Yep.
And I just saw something in College Park when I was coming in. They said College Park is a Purple Heart city.
Really?
That's a good step in the right direction.
Yes.
Now we want to see you work that.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't talking about just because you put one guy in front of you. We got 17 other people that was from DeKalb County. I mean, from College Park that were killed in Vietnam.
Yep.
It might be more, you know, but we know that there's 17, and we want to honor them. We want murals of them all over College Park. And I love one of the community centers I used to go to in College Park. Man, they have a good time over there. Senior citizens, they have a good time over there, man. I ain't been over there in a while, but I'm gonna get over there at that community center. They have a good time. Have good food too. So I'm gonna go over there and eat. I used to go over there with a friend of mine. He passed. But that was his favorite spot. You want to go to Waffle House? No, man, we're going to the community center. You know, and that's what we want to see in our community. You know, where citizens, seniors are getting together, they ain't playing cards and dominoes and just having a good time and feeling safe.
Yes. Oh, that is truly an important part. To go somewhere and not be concerned about your safety.
Yes. So we looking at 2025. This is our first show. And we purposely kind of wanted to do it where me and Tony just talking to you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're going to have guests. We're going to start having more guests because we want this to become a voice for veterans in Fulton County and the state of Georgia and throughout the South. So we want to hear from you. You got something to say. We want you on the show. You know, it's something that we do every week because we're trying to create dialogue and community around the issues that we got in our community, because we are better than what we got going on now.
Yes.
You know, we don't have to see our kids killed by gun violence. You know, the number one killer of young people right now, Tony, is gun violence.
Yes.
That's sad, man.
That is really sad.
That's sad, bro.
Really sad.
That's sad. So we got to do something about it. So I want to thank you for what you do every day, man, and you know, just being in Vietnam Veterans of America. You know, when there ain't nobody else working but me and you, you know, we still working and we getting cases through too. You know, we winning cases. We're winning. We're not winning as much as we want to win and as fast as we want to win, but we're still winning cases. We're still getting benefits for people, and we're doing the show every week. You know, so that should tell you something. We're alive and well. We are here because we are a part of the community. Matter of fact, we're one of the community's best assets.
Yes, we are.
Veterans.
Yeah.
So, we want to keep that spirit. Tony closes out.
Yeah. We definitely want to keep that spirit because being former military people, we aren't former, we're military. Yeah, we're military until from now on.
Yeah, to the day you die.
But we learn how to work together and survive together, and so this is what we're doing. We're just continuing stuff that we learned while in the military, and so we want to work together for our community. So we want everybody to be here every Saturday from 4 to 5 o'clock. Stylist Network, Sons of Atlanta, Vietnam Memorial is our major project, and if you're watching and able to see us now, there it is right there on the screen before you. So join us next Saturday right here. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and serve your country the way we serve our country.
All right.
See you next week.
Next week.